Hello, everybody. Welcome back to this here tropical update for June 29th at the midday time back in the United States of America. I am in Africa today, but that does not prevent me from doing tropical updates, and we have a lot to talk about. First, and we won't talk about this much at all, this big disorganized area south of Mexico is tropical storm something. It's the sixth tropical storm of the eastern Pacific hurricane season. To the north of that, in the Gulf of Mexico, we just have newly named Tropical Storm Barry that'll be making landfall this evening near a little south, maybe, of Tampico in Mexico. And as well, we're also watching an area of interest near the Florida Peninsula. We'll continue to monitor that for further development. We'll talk about that briefly at the end of the video. Currently, Tropical Storm Barry has winds of 40 miles an hour that may strengthen somewhat around 45 or so, maybe even stronger by the time it makes landfall. In fact, the latest reconnaissance mission that's been going on has shown that the system has strengthened. And right before this, I got a brief look at it, and I want to verify what I saw. Yeah, we are starting to see pretty consistent measurements in the 35 to 40 knot range, which is 40 to 45 miles an hour at the surface is what we would expect. Related to that, we're looking at 3 to 6 inches, isolated 10 inches of rain in and north of Tampico area. That is the main concern with this storm. The hurricane chance is zero. The threat to the U.S. is zero. The chance that this thing blows up, you can see the tropical storm force winds. You can hardly see even where they are on this map here. So that's kind of what we're dealing with. Tropical storm warning in effect from Boca Raton to Tecoloahuilta in Mexico. And really, this is a very isolated area, but nonetheless, this will be a big rainmaker over this area. Mudslides will be a concern as well as you get into the more mountainous areas as we head inland. Let's also talk about an area of interest that the National Hurricane Center just identified this morning as of 8 a.m. 20% chance of formation within the next 7 days. Just a brief history of what we're going to expect with this. This is going to be based out of a frontal system, which is similar to the first tropical system, Tropical Storm Andrea, earlier in the season, really a week or so ago. I didn't talk about it because it was out at sea, but what's going to happen with this system is we're going to have a frontal system, a cold front, basically come across the United States. And as it does so, it's then going to make its way into Florida. So expect to see this in radar in the central United States, things like that, tomorrow morning about local time. By the time we get to Wednesday morning, we might begin to see some sort of activity in the Gulf of Mexico near the Big Bend area of Florida. And that'll then make its way across and near Florida, probably still on the Gulf of Mexico side by Saturday, but as we get closer to Sunday, Monday type time frame, that may be more towards north of the Bahamas, south of South Carolina area. As a result, we are continuing to monitor all of Florida. There is a small chance, albeit possible, hence the National Hurricane Center identifying it as such, that the system briefly becomes a tropical depression or tropical storm on the Gulf side, north of Tampa, on the Gulf side, and makes landfall on Florida, crosses Florida, and becomes something else on the other side. So we'll continue to monitor their system as much as I can. Again, I'm in Africa. I don't even know if this video is going to be able to be uploaded, but I'm going to try my best and to continue to keep you guys updated with the latest information from the National Hurricane Center. If not, I'll at least try to post in the community tab on the info weather page, as I have done for the past day or so, updating you guys on what was Tropical Depression 2, what was Invest 91L, and is now Tropical Storm Barry. I'll continue to do the same throughout this hurricane season, but especially over this next week or so when I probably can't make videos. That's it for now. Chris Dixon, Info Weather Media.